In recent years, there has been a proliferation of vegetarian symbols on food packages, keeping pace with retail sales of meat-free foods and growth of vegetarian market. These certifications may also include abstention from byproducts of animal slaughter, as it sometimes can be difficult to identify clearly which foods do not contain animal ingredients. Specific certification standards have been issued to verify and certify that a certain product does not contain ingredients of animal origin. Now we have with us Dr. V.K. Modi to please enlighten us with the introduction. We welcome you, sir. Good morning. Dear Mr. Biswas founder, Abhishek Biswas founder, Sattvik India Council, and Mr. Biswas Sattvik India Council, my dear faculty and students. This is the first kind of thing which came across in front of me, that is the need of vegetarian food certification. My faculty members, they approached me that there is a council, those who are heading for vegetarian food certification in India, and I was introduced with Mr. Abhishek Biswas regarding this, and first it was a totally confusing thing that why we need vegetarian certification. Certification is always only for quality aspects or a non-vegetarian things. Where is the need of vegetarian certification? But in the way he convinced me and the way the interaction went, I really thrilled. Really, yes, we need these things. So as the workshop title, that needs of vegetarian food certification, very crystal clear. There is no hidden thing that needs to be elaborate or to understand. So a little we have to change our a little mind setup that where we are. So actually the food in food what we generally we see that vegetarian and non-vegetarian, and when we buy the food we see the red logo means it is a non-vegetarian things. But there is a green logo for the vegetarian food. So that green logo means only that vegetarian items are there in that. But certification is something, so I think the members of the Sattvik India Council, they will in the next few minutes, they will explain us how it is the importance in our daily life. So I really welcome all of you for this a very important concept which we should really look into. And just if I have look into this, just I want to see how many are non-vegetarians. Will you please raise your hand? See, this is the blue picture. Okay, and if I show you how the non-vegetarian things are produced in our country, on spot 50% they will say I not eat meat from the farm. How it is produced? That is the question of the certification. Okay. But people, when we say that for health point or for the other reasons, we can't ignore our non-vegetarian item also. It is required. But for marketing, for quality aspect, for understanding, we need vegetarian certification also to understand or to educate the population. What is the importance of this? Yes, why we vegetarian should be lacking behind of this type of the thing, which is a clearly indication of non-vegetarian, why not a clear indication about the vegetarian also. So how the process is done. So in laser form. So I welcome all of you for this, and let us enlighten our thoughts about the vegetarian certification, so which will penetrate to the industry as well as the consumer part. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, sir. Next we have with us Mr. Abhishek Biswas. He is a well-renowned businessman and philanthropist.
He is the founder and CEO at Sattvik India Council. He is also an advisor to Uttar Pradesh Trade Promotion Authority. He has also headed a Thai government project for food promotion and production. Since last few years, he has devoted himself to cause of promoting vegetarian food certification, which will be the world's first such certification. We are honored to have you, sir. We invite you to please enlighten us. Let's welcome, sir.
Hello friends, I'm always thrilled to actually be among students all the time. So just give me a minute so I can just put on my mic and I'll start my presentation for minutes. Making our work more and more easier. We are reaching to the students, we are reaching to the education fraternity of India, and right now the process had started way back in about 2 years back, when we were actually, when this concept came into my mind, that there has to be some kind of a certification available for the vegetarian communities of the world. Once when I started to think about it, so then the observation came in, when we were trying to observe. So we started observing areas, I made a team and we started observing areas, that where can we find a place where it is defined that this is where you get a vegetarian product to eat, right? And I could find no such place in the world. Not at the airports, nowhere at the community centers, nowhere in the shopping malls. Now this place has a cluster where the vegetarian food is available. Everywhere I go, I start with this slide, because this is quite important, because I think everybody who's into the food fraternity should know what the slide means. This slide actually means that this is the place where you get vegetarian food, right? And it was actually registered under the ISO, and it was active 2013, and it says that understanding where the vegetarian food is available, public facilities for general people. So this was a generic logo which actually defined where the vegetarian food is available. So you can understand that how we are lacking in terms of the vegetarian, the vegetarian communities of the world. Now you must have also listened to a lot of people talking about vegetarian, vegan products, vegetarian products. Now most of the European people are getting inside that system. But the idea is that the general awareness, and why am I talking here? Why am I talking to you guys? The reason is that India is becoming bigger and bigger and bigger, and we are now a global community. So now people like you, when you come out, when you do this course here, and when you get out of the university and you go to a professional life, you will find an entirely different India in the next 10 years, which we are actually seeing. So I'm just trying to give you a glimpse of what the India will look like. Now by 2030, which is like 12 years from now, Bangalore will be like Slovakia. Hyderabad will be like Morocco, the population wise I'm talking. Ahmedabad is going to be like Vietnam, right? Delhi is going to be like Philippines, right? And Mumbai is going to be like Malaysia in population. So you can imagine how we are growing and at what capacity we are going. Now, this slide actually would be quite intriguing. You must have seen these slides all the time. Make in India. Our Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, is always promoting Make in India, Digital India out of the country. And now, because we need to actually get connected, we need to actually get more and more communicated to be in the thing. Like today, if I tell you not to use your mobile phone, it's very difficult for you. You cannot live without your mobile phone. So you need to make that done. The next question comes always into my mind: are we prepared for this growth? we need to understand that are we prepared for this kind of growth? Are we trained? Number one. Are we well informed? Number two. Do we have the right kind of environment to actually get inside this kind of global economy? Are we ready for that? India especially. Now this is a small slide which will tell you what the food processing industry is going to be in the future. I would really want everybody to please switch off your mobile phones, please, or put it on silent. That will be really helpful. Thank you. So, I just want to show how the food processing industry is going to look like in future. India is going to be the second largest producer of food next to China. China is a huge economy and everybody knows. And the growth of processed food industry will overcome all the, it's going to be managed, going to overcome all the, other industries. With an estimation of 9.6 billion people on this planet by 2050, the overall food production needs to be doubled in relatively very short time. So it means that we need to double our food production in a very short time. So I always say, the country actually performs as the way it is fed. The way we feed our people, the way we feed our population, that the country is actually going to be, the growth depends on that. The intellectual properties of the country depends on that. Now, this is a small slide which will actually tell you the structure of Indian food industry right now, present. This is the present, and I'm going to show you more intriguing things in a little while. So, the organized processing units is 42%. Small scale units is 33%, and I'm sorry, this one is unorganized, I'm sorry, that is organized units is 25%, so it means that the 75, it's a mistake actually, 75% of the market, of the Indian market is still comes under the unorganized sector. Say when you go to, so all the McDonald's, all the KFCs, all the big bazaars and the food areas and that comes into this 25% only, and the rest all is 75%. This is a little bit about what the food industry is going to look like in future. As I said, the Indian domestic food market is expected to grow by 40%. By 40%, that's big. That's actually big. 40%, usually 7%, 8% is normal by stage year. CII has estimated that by 2020, the food processing sector alone will be approximately $33 billion in India. Now a little bit about what, now I'm coming to a little bit of why Sattvik. These are certain things. The food safety, in India is always in the jeopardy, always. So you might go out, like you go out of Amity and see a lot of food stalls outside, but are they compliant? Are they where the food is sourced? Because at the end of the day, you are eating that food. How the food is sourced, where it is cooked, is it cooked in hygiene? Are they taking, because even if I'm running a small open air restaurant, which is like outside, you can say I can commit that. Managing compliance is not a big deal, because at the end of the day, they are taking some kind of profits from the food margin, because at least because the profit of food, everybody knows it. So this is a small thing that the difference. Now I'll put up the third point, which is quite intriguing, that the Maggi was declared unsafe, but when it was analyzed in Singapore and the other labs, it was certified as safe. In India, it was not safe. So there was a huge controversy on Maggi, that. And this is a website which says that India made Maggi instant noodles safe to eat by AWA. Now AWA is Agri-Food Veterinary Authority of Singapore, which has got a really high standards. I think everybody knows that. Now the answer to all these questions, we wanted to come out with an answer, because there has to be some kind of an answer to all these questions, and I used to think all the time that there has to be something which has to be done with the vegetarian foods segment. Because people say it's our right to eat clean food. It is our right to eat the way we eat. It is our right to eat clean, in hygienic food and healthy food. So that's why we thought of actually getting inside and making our own certification system. Our own means by India and for India. Because the Indian market has got a very different requirements. The whole segment of requirements in the Indian markets is entirely different as compared to the first world of the time. The first world. Because they have already developed things that we are still developing. And I can say the orientation is massive. Even if once any research students here probably, if you go on the website and if you see, it is really massive. So I just need to show you a small video which will actually intrigue a little bit. I am not saying this. The television is saying.
पानी पूरी जिसे आप खाते हैं आटे को पैरों से गूंथा जाता है
You need to check this place. All the students are back.
जिस पर आप मजे उड़ाते हैं उसे बेहद ही गंदे तेल में तला जाता है टमाटो सॉस जिसके स्वाद के आगे सब कुछ फीका दिखता है इसे सड़े गले आलू और सब्जियों से तैयार किया जाता है इन तस्वीरों को देखकर आप इनका स्वाद लेना भूल जाएंगे उस छोटे से कपड़े में गोलगप्पे डाला जाते हैं कभी 10 की संख्या में पसीने से लथपथ लोग दिन रात गोलगप्पे बनाने में जुटे
Now, this is Bombay. This is Mumbai. Actually, they raided, the BMC raided a place in Mumbai, and they were now this place is a supply chain for all the central and the western Mumbai. Okay? And I'm not saying anything
लेकिन आगे की तस्वीर आपको गिरा देगी देखिए कैसे जमीन पर गोलगप्पे तैयार किए जाते हैं और आप से कूदे हुए
There's another video I would like to show, just one more. This is Delhi. Now, what is it written over here? Now, I'm not saying this, the national television is saying this. Now this is the height of education in India, and there is no check, and these all products are considered to be vegetarian. All of it. And there are no measures taken. The government is doing a lot, but they have a limitation. Right? So I need
शतपथे गोलगप्पे तीखे गोलगप्पे पानी पूरी कहीं पानी के बतासे चुके गोलगप्पे शॉप में कट पेट खाने वालों के
now just see पानी में मिले so I'll probably you can find a lot of these videos on the YouTube, so you can just go and check. But the idea is not that it is actually not funny. It is very serious. And these issues have to be taken care of. And that's why we are going to the universities, we are talking to people like you, people at the back, right? We are talking to people like you, because you are going to be the next future of India, and that's how I see it. Because when I was doing my MBA, people used to come in and they used to tell us what is going to be the future like. The company CEO, the people who were basically the reformers. Right? So, I just need to tell you a small story. This actually is about me, so you can understand why me and how I came back. I come from a very small town in Kanpur. My father was basically a doctor, and by virtue I had moved to Bangkok because I was always intrigued by the food, the food processing. So in the world, Thailand has the best food processing. It's considered to be the ASAP country of the world. So, and that's how I went inside the government. I was one of the advisors to have Prime Minister for approximately 2.5 years for bilateral trade investments. I visited a lot of governments with my Prime Minister at that time, and that's how I came to know what Asia was going through, because that's 13, 14 before ASEAN. ASEAN was happening. How many people know ASEAN here? ASEAN countries? Anybody? Okay, there are the 9 countries which came together to form another economic, like Europe. So now it's ASEAN. Our Prime Minister was recently there, for the ASEAN summit, and it happened in Delhi also last year. So, when I had to go, I saw a lot of halal symposiums that time. I saw the way halal was working in the world, because they were working excellent. The halal community of the world, they were actually working excellent, and they were putting into the system more and more processes, so they get better quality of products. I'm going to give you a small glimpse of that also, but I had to come back to India. So I had to come back to India and went into, I had to go to the government and ask that whether we can do something like that, and they were all affirmative. And they were all very excited. All the government fraternity was very excited that we are doing something like that, and that's why Sattvik is happening. Now, this slide will also make you understand that halal is now beyond meat. Okay? I'll tell you a little bit of where halal is today. Now, these are halal cosmetics. So it has nothing to do with food anymore, which is presently available. This is halal tourism, which is like, you can now book a whole area where you can actually understand if you want to actually get inside that certification thing. So it's kind of an ISO thing, a standard. These are halal certified designers, so you can imagine there are designers who are halal certified now. And these are certain products which we call could be vegetarian, and they are all halal certified. So we have an instant noodle which is vegetarian, we have Kit Kat, we have a fresh orange juice, we have even water, we have Coca-Cola can, and we have dairy milk. So they are all halal certified. So now it's no more meat. So we're not talking anything about meat now. Okay, this is the next one. Sorry. They also have a halal certified water purifier. Now, why? Now, some was actually referencing the same thing that, when we go to a store, we pick up a product and it says a vegetarian product, we open it and drink it. There is no fake system, there is no other external audition, there is no auditing body, there is no regulatory body which actually says that no, this is a good product, you can pick it. You can actually pick it and you can eat it safe. For the non-vegetarian communities of the world, we have this red logo, everybody knows that. For that, we also have this, and we also have this. So usually the halal is certified worldwide. So it's like it's spreading through all the countries, and they are certifying nearly everything. Okay? Now the Sattvik philosophy. Why Sattvik? What is Sattvik? Why Sattvik? From India, by India, as I said before, that how many people know Ayurveda here? Ayurveda? Anybody? Yoga? Okay, what is the yoga day?
21st, 24th.
Okay, at least some people know it. Okay. The Sattvik philosophy is something like it's sattva. it's balance. I think please understand, these students at the back, it is very important for you. You should understand this. If you understand this, the mythology of life will change. There are two kinds of areas which is defined by our ancestors. Like it's 5,000, 10,000 year old. It's Tamsa and Rajasa. We say like that. And Rajasa is overexcitement, manic, obsessiveness, addictive, greed, selfish lust, overactive. This is an English version of a Sanskrit. Actually, we have made a slide for you guys to understand, because Sanskrit would be a little bit difficult for you to understand. And on that side, it's Tamsa. It's like dull, depressed, depression, damaged, neglect, denied, underactive. The whole soul works on this basis. Our whole soul, our whole ideology works on this. Our whole well-being works on this. And when we balance it through yoga. You say people say meditation, we balance it through meditation. We balance it through being a good person in life. And that is what is our mantra for the industries in India. That there has to be a balance. There has to be a balance between Tamsa and Rajasa. For all the MSMEs who are producing, for all the base kitchens who are actually having a big industrial base kitchen, all the small size enterprise, bigger size enterprise, those who are actually manufacturing small, anything which actually they are producing for perishing. Yeah. Now the next slide is. Now this is the slide. This is our mythology of neutrality. So it's a neutral. It shows everything neutral. This thing that comes from our Vedas. And Sattvik principle is this. Now this we use for retail. That was for the industry. This is for the retail. So anything you pick up it's to be neutral. Has to come inside you, and has to be neutral. Should not destroy you. Should not damage you internally. That's what it is. And this is a very old. It's like this is an Asian picture. It's like it comes in the Vedas. Now the agri impact, because agriculture is huge. It's big in India. It's one of our prime concerns for agriculture. Now agriculture, what's Sattvik will do in agriculture? We know, impact is one thing where you people come in. Why am I speaking to, Amity today? Because we are planning to do an incubator where you can actually pick up projects under Sattvik and actually go out and do projects. So it's like, can we, to come up, to address issues, to bring in people like me, people like you, people like, all the faculty, so they can come and they can brainstorm. The third, to educate, because education is very big. Unless and until you make people understand, they will not understand, especially our farmers, right? And we need to do that. That's a very, lot of corporates are doing it, but I think there is still a gap. There is a huge gap, because we have analyzed that, we have researched it, there is a huge gap. And at last, for all three things, at last we need to activate. Because once you do it and then you don't activate, it's of no use. You have to activate it. Okay, Sattvik, our motto: provide healthy food, train farmer community, adapt to challenges, provide good quality product at the right price, create jobs in quality management space. Now, create jobs in quality management space. Because of the industry being so small, people are not able to understand the importance of quality management. And that is going to be the industry in future, because we think like that, because unless and until there are regulatory bodies, unless and until there are people who will regulate how people are producing food and how people are actually processing food, or how the farmers are actually growing food, we cannot grow. The growth potential will never be there. So the idea is to create jobs, more and more jobs, and that is why I told you that's why we are here. We are working with the faculty to create a platform where we can create some some subject matter specialists on this quality management. And how will we do it? That's very important. We are trying to establish, state-of-art, testing labs, smaller, micro, and macro testing labs, depending on where and how we go. And our partners are track labs for that. We already signed up a contract with them. Robust quality management, where we can actually, give end-to-end, solutions. So, say for example, if an industry comes to you and says that, we are using certain preservatives, it is allowed, but then we want to actually convert them into, we want to convert our product into organic. So there is a gap analysis. Where people like, the Sattvik trainers would come in and they would make them understand how to produce products like that. This is what our future would look like, what Sattvik wants to do with the consumers, with the training. We are developing a cloud, which we say that it's the National Good Food Network. That's what we have named it. And the mission is training, awareness, for the consumers and the businessmen, both of them. So people can understand. It has to be a balance. Sattvik from farm to fork. Now this is very important for everybody to understand. All the top lines is all what our government support is. The government actually has created these platforms, but they cannot, because all these platforms are different platforms. It has not, nobody has tried to connect it because there is no product available like that. There is no platform where everybody can come in. The farmers can come in, the retailers can come in, the distribution processes can come in, the consumer can come in, and all of these government organizations can come in and work together, because ultimately the idea is to work together for good. Now Sattvik is trying to do that. This is one program which we want to run with Amity. Our partners, obviously all these people. Now this is our board, this is the way it works, this is the way we work. We have a service committee, we have a program service committee, we have a business committee, we have a audit committee, we have a development committee, we have a executive committee. Now YEP is Youth Engagement Program, which is already going on. We have students here right now who are part of our program, and probably they have contributed a lot, and they'll do that more in future now. We promise to deliver in the next 1 year. The idea, the target of what Sattvik wants to do is that, we want to focus in all these areas, especially with knowledgeable farmers community, because that's very important. That is where the food is coming from. Improve products, MSME of course, which I actually told you in the initial slides. Of course, Sattvik is registered with US. With Germany, and now I think in another 2 weeks we'll be on with ASEAN countries. So we'll be covering at least 9 countries, and by March we should get the clearance from them. Now, this is what the incubator is. I think my colleague Varsha is going to explain you more on that how we are going to work on this. But this is what we want to do with the university, because as I said, that the industry needs certification. The industry needs process certification to produce goods, good food. Now, Sattvik certified trainers, MSME, industry, and kitchen. So I think everywhere, if somebody is a Sattvik certified trainer, so the job is there. People can go in rice industries. They can pick up trainings. They can tell them how to convert your whole system into Sattvik, come inside the Sattvik community. Now, this is something which Varsha is going to tell you about, but I need to play a little bit on this so you can understand what Sattvik is all about.
प्रकृति में हमेशा सात्विक होने की संकेत दिए हैं। इसी वजह से सनातन दर्शन को संपूर्ण स्वास्थ्य और निरंतर विकास के लिए सात्विकता का सबसे बड़ा कारण है उसके ठोस प्रमाणिकता का अभाव। भारत की हलाल सर्टिफिकेशन बॉडी हलाल इंडिया की ओर से आज देश के कई पर्सनल केयर ब्रांड्स अपने प्रोडक्ट्स के लिए हलाल सर्टिफिकेशन लेने में जुटे हैं। इस सर्टिफिकेशन का मतलब है कि उस खास प्रोडक्ट्स को बनाने में इस्लामिक कानून शरिया के अनुसार अनुमति मिली हो। इसलिए हलाल प्रोडक्ट्स बनाने में क्लीन सप्लाई चेन और कंप्लायंस का पूरा ध्यान रखा जाता है, जिसमें सोर्सिंग से लेकर ट्रेड तक का सफर शामिल है। उत्तर देखिए तो हलाल की तरह सात्विक को भी प्रमाणिकता की जरूरत थी। इसलिए आज सात्विक इंडिया काउंसिल की स्थापना की गई है। सात्विक इंडिया काउंसिल की पहल से आज सात्विक को लेकर उपभोक्ताओं का भरोसा जीतना आसान हुआ है। सात्विक के सर्टिफिकेशन से कंज्यूमर्स और ब्रांड्स के बीच फेथफुल रिलेशंस बन रहे हैं, जिसमें शक और शिकायत की कोई गुंजाइश नहीं रह जाएगी। अब सात्विक की विश्वसनीयता पर कोई भी सवालिया निशान नहीं लगाया जा सकता। उदाहरण के लिए जो कोई प्रोडक्ट सात्विक के मापदंडों पर खरा उतरता हो, जैसे कोई रेस्टोरेंट अपने पूर्ण सात्विक होने के लिए वैदिक शुद्धता के साथ वक्तों नियमों का पालन करता है, तो उसे बेशक सात्विक रेस्टोरेंट माना जाएगा। आज दुनिया भर में सात्विक अपनी शुद्धता और गुणवत्ता के नए चेहरे के साथ उपभोक्ता के बीच खड़ा है। इसे नई पहचान मिली है। सात्विक की यह नई पहचान इसे भारत के अलावा पूरी दुनिया में बाजार का असीमित दायरा देने को तैयार है। आज सात्विक ग्लोबल मार्केट अपने लक्ष्य की ओर अग्रसर है। सात्विक की सफलता मानव जीवन के कल्याण का आधार है, क्योंकि सात्विक धर्म नहीं, जीवन शैली है।
Now, this was a little of what I think you must have understood now what exactly we are trying to do. What is our motto? Why we want to do this? We are not doing it for ourselves. We are doing it for the community. And everybody who is actually, we are registered also under a trust, so probably it's a trust. So we are doing it for the community, and I want all of you, I think our website is going to be open in about 2 weeks. You can register with us, and we are already talking to all the departments, so probably we can launch a few programs together. So where we can come up together and actually work for the effort. And lastly, I think everybody should see this. This is going to be available in your libraries in some time. You are going to need this book. Whosoever is in the food faculty would be needing this book for a reference. This is the most powerful book or manual which is going to actually change the way the Indian food industry is today. And that's my last submission. I thank HOD a lot and all the faculty members who have given us time.
I think informative, because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be informative with wherever we go, universities, we speak, students we talk to, even the faculty. Like I said, when I met the HOD, I think for me to convince him on what Sattvik is all about took me at least 45 minutes. But then after understanding, I think sir, today you must have actually got a more idea of what we are trying to do. And again, the idea is to reach globally. It is not, because what happens is that I think that this is the first time that India by itself is developing its own certification, its own process certification, which is very big. And I would not be able to do that, or Sattvik Council would not be able to do that without the help of the institutions, without the help of these, I told to the faculty that when I came to university, I had a very different vibe, because the
whole vibe is here because everybody comes here to actually, gain something. So there is an energy in the campus. So every campus I go, I get fascinated. And I feel that, you youth are going to be the next leaders where India is going to be. Because we have actually passed on that. We're doing something else actually, they're trying to reform it. But you are going to be the future of India. You are going to be the ambassadors of the Indian, growth, so-called growth factor. And we are going to be bigger than China. That's what I said. Everybody's saying, because the environment is created for India now. So, my submission today for this whole workshop, firstly, I would like to thank all the department and the HOD that they have given me a chance to speak to you guys. And the other thing is that Sattvik India Council, when I was conceiving it, it took me a lot of time, a lot of man hours, because I had my own things to do, but I was scribbling, I was writing, I was actually making some things, I was making notes all the time, and this was there in my mind that we have to do something for our country. Even being an NRI, even living 14 years out of my country, but then I had to come back, when I was seeing my country from outside, and I was saying that I'm still not able to contribute, and that's what actually came into my mind, and that's why I shifted to India 3 years back and started this whole thing. So what I want to tell you guys, this is my experience. I've been a student, I did my MBA from and then most of the time I was outside India, and I could not understand it that time, but now I understand it. So that's why I would say that Sattvik certification is going, it's just one step ahead. As I told you, that this manual which we have developed is very powerful. It is very powerful. Powerful in terms that it will actually let us get us into the next India. It's just like the digital India, it's just like Beti Padhao, it's just like that, all these, but this is one mission, this is again one mission that we need to accomplish, and we cannot do it unless and until the youth is with us. We cannot do it unless and until students like you are with us. We cannot do it unless and until you have this inside, the feeling has to be like that no, we have to eat clean food, no, we have to tell people that no, make food which is clean. Same say, banao, अच्छे से खाओ, let's be healthy. Because that is what even our Prime Minister is trying to tell, So, I can say it's one of the part with the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is about. So again, coming back to your concern, I think another 2-3 years you are going to get out of this institution, going into different areas and different fields. But by that time you should understand the importance of pure food. Because you are into food technology, you are doing something in food. It starts from the home, you have to do it from your home. You have to start from your home. Hygienic food has to be started from home actually. So that's why once we started with home, we will not be able to eat outside, we will not be able to, and if there is something is happening, at least there is a correction there. And apart from that, I think we are establishing a Sattvik Center of Excellence to roll out, and that will actually create the SMEs, the subject matter specialists of Sattvik, who can go out, they can train, and this is going to grow global, because we are actually talking to all the JMPs of the world. In fact, there is a JMP community which we are talking, I'm in talks with them, that all over the world, the vegetarian food has only one logo, it's a green logo. Even if it's produced in France, it's just called a green logo, it doesn't have anything else. So we need another faith system, the vegetarian, we need another faith system. And who else can do that if not Indians, or why Indians, or from India? Because nobody understands vegetarian better than in the world. Right? हमारी जो पिछली सभ्यता है, हमारे से अच्छा वेजिटेरियन दुनिया में कोई नहीं समझ सकता, हमारे से अच्छा प्रोसेस दुनिया में कोई नहीं समझ सकता. It is all written in Manu-Smriti. It's all written there. It's all written in our holy, as Varsha was just mentioned. So we just need to, I was joking the other day with somebody that how much does a yoga instructor is taking on an hour if he's actually your best? He would charge you approximately $500 for an hour of yoga session. Right? So this is what, and there are celebrities actually, that's it starts from there, So, this is something like yoga. Yoga is from India. It doesn't belong to anywhere else in the world. Yoga, Ayurveda is from India. We are coming back to basic medicines. I think Himalaya is one company which is selling alternative medicines, I think since longer years. Well, now they have put up their products into India now. In about 5 years, the visibility is more. Now you have those, diet capsules and, blood capsules and all that. But that's like 20 years, 30 years they've been supplying to US and other countries, of course. And people are living on that alternative medicine. So we have to understand the power of what we have. And this process certificate, our actually motto is that this process certificate has to go worldwide. So anybody who is a SME in Sattvik, who is a Sattvik certified trainer, the world is a platform for him. And that's what we are trying to do with your department, to create that incubator where students can come in, they can interact. We're just talking now because it's in the initial stage, so we need to design the platform, how, when, and what is going to be the size and how we are going to actually, pick you and get you out of that. So we are still designing that roadmap. I think we'll be able to do that in the next couple of days or weeks, and we will launch the subject, incubator in that. Any questions from anyone?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm sure that many of us are now considering career choices in inclination towards fields like certification and auditing, more than going into fields of production.
Yes.
So, what are the career opportunities for people like us who will be graduating after 1 or 2 years to be a part of Sattvik India Council as a full-time employee, or say an auditor or a trainee?
I would just like to give you the background picture first, because if you read a little bit, now the whole world is going towards servicing. So in the next 3 years, it's only servicing. It's not production, it is not mechanism, it's only service, So in sitting in this kind of a room, you can actually, handle approximately 1 million customers. So that is where everything is going into. That everything by 2050, I think most of it will be on the cloud. By 19, you will get a 5K mobile phone, which is like downloading a DVD or a movie in about 2 seconds, 3 seconds. That's going to be the speed. It is not far. I think in 19 they are launching that 5G. So the service industry is going to be huge, and that's what we are also doing the same way. We are trying to get inside an area which requires massive correction. Massive correction. Once you get out of this campus, the correction starts there. I get out of my house, the correction starts there. Right? So I think with time, in 2 years by the time you graduate, you have to get in touch with us and probably we pick you up on board. And I think in the next 2 years we are trying to engage the pattern which we are trying to develop, our roadmap. We'll be engaging approximately 10,000 people throughout India, and that will be only through the universities. So because we are based in North, so we are starting with North. So we are talking to all the universities. We are already tied up with 5 universities in Delhi NCR. So from next month we are starting with Ahmedabad, Calcutta. So we go down south like that. And we have the first roadmap, the first phase of Sattvik incubation in universities would be about 21 to 22 universities in the first phase. And then we will go over tier 2, tier 3 areas. So that's why I said that, you are the youth. So you are going to be
the next 2 years you will graduate, so I think you'll be out by 2020, right? In 2021 would be really exciting for the world, believe me, because if you pick up, if you actually like the World Economic Forum, thing on your Facebook, so you'll be able to know what the world is going to be in the next 10 years. Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, I will request the HOD to please come up and give us some vision of how he thinks about Sattvik now, because that's very important for me. He has got an excellent, background, and some words coming from him would be really encouraging.
We had a very wonderful topic. Now I'm very much sure that everybody is clear about the concept of or that what we say that vegetarian certification. I was totally confused, as I said at the beginning, also vegetarian and non-vegetarian. Here almost 90% are non-vegetarian. This concept is nothing to do with vegetarian or non-vegetarian. This concept or this platform, what we are assembled here, is just to make you aware about the purity of it. How we process it, that certification. That what we call it as a concept that is there in the book. But for certification, that purity, faith process, here you got faith process. That is there in the halal. My dear friends, my brothers from Muslim community, they look for that book because their faith, similar kind of faith in vegetarian food, that is processed under a defined condition, defined process, hygiene, ingredients, what are used as a permissible or a pure ingredients. So that is the concept of a certification that we should understand, that is lacking in our present system. So these people are trying very hard, as they said in their service. So let us hope on brother to knowing that for my dear student after the question also, the question is very right because they are looking for job only. From that point of view, that where we get the title. So I'm sure that opportunity will come under the same concept as he said by 2020 or 21, 2000 years. 10,000 jobs will be created and keep our the eyes open on this concept. So it's a big thing that food processing needs this certification. Yes, we definitely raise this issue at all the platforms wherever we will go for the process and all. Yes, there we need. FSSAI certification is different because I want to tell the students BSI or SFSAI or FDA regulations and all. Those things are different than this certification. They have kind of standards, but process or faith, what we have, that is that. So this is the platform what we have learned today, and I'm sure that we will take it further for the process industry or the students or the curriculum. Definitely will keep one lecture in each semester for this particular topic. So now we are ourselves is entitled. If whenever any opportunity comes, definitely I come in the classes and learn about this certification, and we'll invite you also during your particular session of the class. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure having you today at us.